Don't leave me hanging. It's go time.
Hey everybody, this is Josh, and welcome to another wonderful game of StarCraft 2. This one is being played between two of my absolute favorite players in the world. It is oGsMC. He is the red Protoss up here in the top left corner of Backwater Gulch, and over on the other side of the map we have Liquid Ret, the Dutch Zerg player. He is the blue Zerg up in the top right corner. Backwater Gulch is the map. This is a best-of-3 series that was played for the NASL back in the regular season. They released all of their replays, so I'll probably be picking and choosing from those replays. This series, in my mind, stuck out as being a particularly good one, so I hope that you guys will enjoy it as much as I did watching it the first time when it was broadcast back in, I don't know when it was, June, I suppose, maybe even earlier than that. Actually, it must have been April. NASL went a long time, and if you don't know what the NASL is, it's actually the North American Star League. But anyway, this cast is actually sponsored by a t-shirt company called Sarva Creations. They asked me if I would like to help promote their stuff, and they actually have hand-drawn, like, art on t-shirts that maybe you might find interesting, so please check out sarvacreations.com. That link is in the video description. But anyway, let's get into the game now. So far, Ret hasn't actually done anything. I like to watch the Zerg player first, because typically the Protoss player will just drop a pylon and start that wall off. There's the gateway, as you would expect, and the Zerg player usually is the one who will mix it up a little bit, whether he goes spawning pool first, or hatchery first, or even assimilator first, can make a huge difference with the way that the game's going to play out. And Ret is actually opting for spawning pool first, and you'll see a ton of Zerg players do this because of this thing right here. The probe from your enemy will be sitting in your natural just waiting, and if you don't have any lings to chase him away, it can be very, very frustrating for a drone to try and deal with a probe on his own. And here we see Ret is actually trying it anyway. So now Ret is going to have to get up to 300 minerals, hope that that probe isn't there, and cross his fingers that this probe doesn't drop a pylon there just to delay things even further. Of course, once 2, 4, or 6 lings come out after that spawning pool finishes, the probe and the pylon, if he were to drop one, would both, be destroyed. So it looks like MC is not even going to mess with it, not going to drop a pylon, and Ret will drop that right at 15 supply. So he's actually pretty fortunate that MC did not just try to stay in his hair a little bit longer. And MC sees the hatch go down. He wants to go back inside the main. Ret actually has the luxury of not making any Zerglings right now if he doesn't want to, as a result of getting that hatchery down. So he's got to be feeling pretty good right now. He's sending a scouting drone up here to see if MC is going to be doing this wall off. And the great thing about the drone scout is you can mineral click through a zealot, if you please, and you can just head right into the mineral line and see everything that there is to see. MC does not have an assimilator yet. He actually went for a very fast nexus. Usually the build order you see is that gateway, then cybernetics core, then an assimilator. But this time he's just going to go for that Nexus, drop the pylon afterwards. So that's a very, very interesting move after seeing that Ret has gone spawning pool first and then that hatchery right on 15. 2 lings have been created, 2 more just got finished there in that production tab, and they're going to chase away this probe, probably try to kill it, but it looks like MC's already got 2 zealots on the scene to try and hack this drone into tiny little pieces and get those Zerglings back into Ret's main. Ret did make a second queen. No, he didn't. That's actually the first queen just coming to block the ramp. Very interesting move. A zealot and a probe can actually kill a queen if that's all that's fighting. Like if these Zerglings weren't here, a single zealot and a single probe could actually kill this queen just by themselves. So it's a good thing Ret does have a few lings to help out. And MC is actually going to be warded off from continuing that attack. Nexus is going to be finished here soon. He's dropping a forge after the cybernetics core. I'm not sure where that forge actually is. There is behind the main mineral line. That's kind of interesting. And he is catching up now on those assimilators, getting both of them up inside the main. We've got 5 Zerglings and a Lyoti just running around chasing these zealots down. MC's just been churning out 1 zealot at a time since he has not had that cybernetics core until just now. That's really all he could make. MC actually transferring some probes there, tried to get in on the fight to get these Zerglings out of his base, but instead they will just continue on. One thing interesting to note about these games as well is MC was actually in the same place as Ret when these games were played. They were both in Europe, I believe, for some other tournament. I'm not sure exactly which one it was now. It was so long ago, but the latency is not an issue because they're both playing on the European server for these games. So it's kind of interesting because sometimes when playing from Korea, you have latency as a big issue and it can make it harder to micro your units, but rest assured these guys were actually in the same country, I think even in the same building when these games were played. So the competitiveness is crisp and clean and untainted by ping and latency. Looks like Rhett's still just working off of one gas. He does have a Roach Warrant up now, and Zergling speed just now completes. He's got all these lings already prepared, and no Baneling Nest or anything like that. He's just going to start a wave of 5 Roaches now, while MC tries to fortify his natural expansion a little bit more, but 4 lings actually slip in the side and kill off 2 probes pretty quickly. He's actually going to manage to escape with 2 of them, so 2 lings for 2 probes is definitely a good trade for Rhett. Looks like the Roaches are starting to hit the scene now. He's up to 7 pretty quickly here. And Forge Fast Expand can be kind of tough to deal with Roaches. Roaches can actually sneak into little slippery spots. They could actually attack this pylon without the cannon reaching them. And these 2 Stalkers probably won't be enough to deal with 7+ Roaches in addition to all these Speedlings. So we'll see what MC is going to be able to do to try and defend against this early aggression here from Rhett. There's a pylon about to finish here, and Rhett actually trying to gun it down. He may have thought it was a cannon at first, but of course you can just click on it and know that it isn't. But anyway, here come the next wave of Roaches. He's up to 8 now. All these probes trying to get in on the action. Actually, A moving into those Zerglings now, starting to work on the Roaches as well. Rhett just makes another wave of lings, and here they come, surrounding those Zealots. There is a force field down, but it doesn't seem to be too helpful. There goes the force field on the ramp. So now Rhett can just back up a little bit, take this pylon for free, and even run into this main mineral line and try to kill off these 5 probes without MC being able to do anything. MC's got a sentry with just 3 health left, and now there we go. Rhett is going to continue ransacking this natural. All these probes are going to go down. Just 1 ling killing 1 probe right there. This Nexus looks to be in a tough spot, but MC actually had a Stargate up, and here is a Void Ray coming to start to thin out these Roaches and lings. Unfortunately, it looks like Rhett actually has way more units than this Void Ray is going to be able to handle, even if it is fully charged up. It's going to take so long bouncing from ling to ling, and Nexus is surely going down, and now Rhett's still looking in a pretty good position, getting us around on these sentries. They are pretty weak and frail without their force field abilities there, and all these lings can just run into the main. Oh, MC actually gets a warp in with perfect time, hitting hold position, keeping those lings from getting in, and the Void Ray already with 9 kills. Basically, it just saved MC from having to GG out of the game, but if you look at the supply or anything else, 55 supply against 37, if you look at the tech of each player and the expanding that Rhett has going on, you can tell that Rhett is very far ahead and has done a great job so far keeping MC down to just 1 base, while Rhett himself takes a 3rd. Void Ray now shooting away at these lings, not able to charge up just because you can kill a Zergling before you end up getting fully charged. MC does ward them away. 2nd Void Ray on the field now, and that Nexus is rebuilt. Rhett taking a very easy 3rd expansion. There's been no pressure on him and since those first 2 Zealots this whole game, so Rhett just easily mining away. Let's see how many drones he's got actually. 44 against 30 probes for oGsMC. Evolution Chamber here. Looks like it hasn't actually researched anything yet. No, it hasn't. He maybe just built that so that he can get some Spore Crawlers going soon in case those Void Rays show up, but it looks like he's just going to run in with a dozen lings or so and actually try and take down this Nexus as well. 1 force field does go down, keeping them from getting a full surround on the Nexus, but they still might be able to do it. If they continue to flee from these Zealots, they might actually be able to survive long enough. Rhett actually sneaks into the main with just 2 Zerglings, and probes are pretty good defending themselves against just 2 lings, so yeah, those guys are going to get splattered as well. Rhett on the warpath now, MC on the warpath now, looking for Overlords to hunt down with his Void Ray and Phoenix combo. Gets a freebie there. Rhett now supply blocked, but he's got almost double the total supply of MC, so it'll be very easy to replace that. He's actually building 4 Overlords now to compensate. He's got Queens on the edge of his creep, waiting to drop some tumors. Lots of Roaches on the ground. He knows these Void Rays won't be able to kill off all these lings and Roaches fast enough for him to do the damage that he needs to do against this Nexus, just to keep MC from expanding once again. Force field goes down a little bit late. Those lings actually could have chomped this sentry to death, but instead they're going to wait for their Roach buddies, and now we see this cannon taking a lot of fire. There are only 2 Void Rays here and 3 Phoenixes with not a ton of energy left on them. They do 3 lifts there for the Roaches, but this Nexus is surely going to get destroyed once again. The Void Rays again just too slow to take out those Roaches, even though the Roaches can't fight back. It's just not quick enough. So all these probes, Zealots, pylons, cannons, and the Nexus all going to go down here to the remaining Roaches. These Void Rays are racking up the kills. That one's got 21 to his name, but it's just not going to be enough to stop that Nexus from exploding. So MC in kind of a tough position now. He's been all game behind, and now he realizes there's no chance he's going to be able to fight his way back. He GG's Rhett on 3 bases without being attacked really the entire game, up by 12 Harvesters and 33 supply. There's nothing MC was going to be able to do there, and that is it for Game 1, but it is a best-of-3 series, so let's go see if oGsMC will be able to fight his way back, or if Rhett will put away the Korean master.